Hello everyone, Purge here and welcome to my Monsters and Memories tutorial series for non-Everquest players. First of all, before introducing the game, I'll introduce myself. Feel free to call me Purge. I've been doing some form of content creation or other since 2010 when I would stream my guild's WoW raids. I dabbled with some YouTube stuff back during the Minecraft era where I made some pixel art that I think is about the only stuff on my YouTube channel still worth checking out from back then, so feel free to do so. I switched to full-time streaming in 2015 and maintained that until 2019, where I burnt out and became more of a hobbyist again. Here in 2026, I'm picking back up making videos once more. Please feel free to scan the QR codes that will pop up on the screen during my videos to check out the game that I'm playing, as well as my socials and community Discord server. But that's enough rambling about me. You're here for Monsters and Memories, so let's jump right in. If you're like me and haven't played much or any EverQuest, or Ultima Online, or Final Fantasy XI, or Ragnarok Online, or any of those old-style MMOs, but are interested in Monsters and Memories, you've come to the right place. All of the videos I have found on this game are from the lens of 20-year EverQuest veterans, which was not particularly helpful for me when trying to figure the game out. I had to learn the hard way, the painful way, the frustrating way. This tutorial series is so that you don't have to go through all of it. Monsters and Memories, or MNM as I will affectionately call it henceforth, because it's a lot easier to write in my script, is an old school style of MMORPG. But what does that mean? This game harkens back to the pre-World of Warcraft era of MMOs, where there were several universal truths. Number 1. Slow, grindy, methodical gameplay, usually with a focus on group or social dynamics. Number 2. Social interactions matter. This was also true in vanilla World of Warcraft, but I digress. You won't have a good time if you piss off the player base on your server. And number 3, it's more about the journey than the destination. There's endgame content, sure, but that's not the focus of the game. These are the cornerstones of MNM. While I can, with my knowledge and experience in the public testing from 2023 through 2025, reach level 4 in about 2.5 hours, that is min-maxing speedrun-esque sort of streamlined gameplay. That is not the intention of the developers and should not be your expectation. In general, it seems that people are taking between 30 and 60 days to reach level 60 if they're focused on the grind. If you want to relax, explore, help people out, focus on crafting, or own and maintain property, you're going to spend much more time than that leveling up. This is not World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV. Quests are around, but they are not the primary way to level. There is no map, no mini-map, no main story quests, and absolutely no GPS of any sort. You will have to find your way around by learning your way around the hard way, by running around, getting lost, and finding your way back. Exploration is rewarded with knowledge, and sometimes secrets. There's hidden things about the world to find. What do you do with that knowledge? Well, that's up to you. There's far more to do than just kill monsters, or players, in MNM. You can focus on crafting, although you'll need to level to acquire your own materials, but if you have a group or guild to feed them to you, perhaps you don't need to level quite as much. Perhaps you want to own property, have a little farm, grow some cabbages. Maybe you want to be a caravaneer, transporting people and goods across the continent of Aetheron. There is much to do, much to see, much to find, and much to learn, often the hard way. Death is punishing in MNM. When you die, you drop everything you have on your person. And I mean armor, weapons, coin, bags, and everything inside those bags and the rest of your inventory. You respawn at your spawn location naked, and you lose all of your memorized spells. Note that does not mean abilities, those work differently. You then have to somehow make your way back to your corpse. Now, there are various methods, functions, and spells to assist in corpse recovery, but in general, this is the flow of things. So make sure you know where you were at when you died. You will also lose XP when you die starting at level 5. And yes, that means you can de-level as well. Speaking of XP, it's a slow process to level up, but when you get new abilities and spells, it feels very rewarding. However, starting at level 20, there exist hell levels every 5 levels. So that is 20, 25, 30, and so forth, until level 50. Then from 50 to 60 are all hell levels. Hell levels take many times longer to push through than normal levels, to the point that going from level 20 to 21 takes longer than going from levels 21 to 23. But the push is worth it in the end. There's monster camps, many races, various factions spread out over many locations, both above and below ground in the deep, and you can more or less do whatever you want. Just make sure to play nice with others. The game is fairly sandboxy, so strap in and enjoy. There's no box cost, so you're only paying a subscription cost. Just enjoy it. This game can seem easy at times. At other times, it will feel challenging. At still more times, it'll be difficult, and sometimes it can be downright savage towards you. But don't worry. We've been there. We've been trained in Wormsbane. We've been one shot by a sudden high-level enemy that snuck up behind us. We, the community, have been there. So, take a deep breath, stay calm, and if you need to, ask in OOC, that is out of character chat, for help. This community is full of many wonderful, helpful people. That isn't to say it doesn't have its share of trolls, they do exist, just try not to let them get to you. The bad will be weeded out over time by the nature of how the social dynamics of this type of game works. This game has limited direction, both meta and literally speaking. There's no hand-holding, no, you're done here, now go to the next zone sort of thing. None of that. You're not the protagonist of some grand story, you're just a random adventurer thrown into a chaotic world. The cities are huge, the zones are massive, and it's easy to get lost. Try not to get complacent, because just over the next dune could be something many, many levels higher than you. Be calm, be careful, and stay strong, and the continent of Aetheril could be your next home. I've touched upon it already, but when I say the grind takes time, I'm very serious. Take it slow, don't try and race. You'll just get frustrated, make mistakes, get angry, make more mistakes. It's a vicious cycle. Corpse runs are a feature. Get used to them. Trains are a feature. Get used to them. Dragons hiding in a sandstorm are a feature, allegedly. So be wary. Keep your eyes on the stars, your head on a swivel, and may Altindra guide your way. Don't have any clue what the hell I just said? No problem. Check out the next video in the series, MNM Common Terms and Practices, and you'll be caught up in no time. Also, these terms are found in the MNM New Player Guide, which can be found on their website, as well as reached from in-game by clicking on the book icon. I want to briefly touch upon PvP before I leave you, though. As of November 2025, there is a PvP rule set server for the public testing phase. It is my understanding that the devs intend to have and maintain a PvP rule set server upon launch. However, PvP will not be the focal point of this game. The game will not inherently be balanced around PvP, so PvP may, and very likely will, be extremely unfair and unforgiving for the uninitiated, unfamiliar, and ungilded among you. But it does exist if that is your cup of tea. Thank you for watching and listening to my ramblings in this introductory video. I had intended this to be a more structured video, but it all just came out as I was writing the script and it flowed well enough that I decided to keep this as is. Following videos in the series will be more structured in both the topic and footage being shown, which will more or less try to represent the topic at hand.